Miller's Girl, released this year and stars, of course, Jenna Ortega as well as Martin Freeman, and is available to watch on Netflix right now as well. This is one I was looking forward to because I, yes, along with the majority of the world right now, love Jenna Ortega. From Wednesday to Babysitter Killer Queen, etc., etc. And this is one that I knew was going to be interesting from the get-go. There was some controversy around it a while ago about the age gap. That's kind of the point. I can't believe Martin Freeman had to come out and say that. But this is sort of a tale about a student kind of getting this infatuation with her teacher, mentor character, and it sort of plays on his sort of insecurities and shortcomings in life and why he feels like this odd connection to her as well. So I thought it was actually pretty good in terms of the more realistic side of an exploration of how that dynamic could form, as toxic and wrong as it is. It played it pretty in a pretty real world honest context for the most part. I thought Jenna Ortega was great in the movie. She has this monologue which made me think, okay, you're giving this way more than you probably have to. She is really good. Martin Freeman had this natural likability, per se, as much as he can, this sort of premise, as he usually does. The whole cast is pretty lively, too. The movie overall is just more engaging than I was expecting it to be. It's not just like the ick factor of it. It's thoughtful for the most part about it, to a point. Where it does fall short for me, though, is kind of where it shifts from that realistic, psyche exploration and like the context around the characters. It shifts from that to something kind of more just melodramatic as the movie goes on. So things just start happening, characters start just acting out more in a way that feels a lot less natural, a lot more like a YA novel or something, just going for like a shock factor per se. And I don't mind it drifting into a more like thriller direction necessarily, but it just feels a lot more artificial, a lot more like a product as opposed to a film, I suppose. And I don't want to necessarily spoil where it ends up, but that is a pretty interesting conclusion. Not as on the nose as I thought it was going to be, but sort of like that third, fourth quarter, I was a little, okay, this is just going to be like memeable or something. And just some of like the lines itself and the dialogue weren't always as good as the actors conveying them. But not a bad movie overall. Just going knowing what the premise is, the fact that the age gap is meant to be off-putting, and it's a good movie if you like the actors. It's worth a watch at least. So check it out on Netflix, wherever else. But yeah, if I had to rate it, I'm probably giving it would probably be like a C plus in any actor's hands besides Freeman's, or especially besides Jenna Ortega's hands. But because it is with them and they do elevate it, I'm giving it a B minus. I know you guys thought about it, and peace.